It's Batman time. Roll the cue.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
I am Batman.
I'm Batman.
Meow.
Hello and welcome to another video here at Movie Mash. And today we're going to talk about Batman Returns. Yes, Batman Returns came out in 1992 of the summer, starring Michael Keaton, Christopher Walken, Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny Devito, directed by Tim Burton once again. Alright, synopsis. So we got Batman's facing down the Penguin, who's trying to kill all the firstborn children of Gotham. I think it's all firstborn sons actually. And we got, he's allied with Max Schreck, a corrupt business tycoon who's also trying to put Gotham under the control together. In the meantime, we got Catwoman, who's trying to seek revenge on Max Schreck for killing her and making her Catwoman, also doing Catwoman stuff in between. And Batman has to try and foil it all before they destroy the place. You know how it goes. So after the success of Batman in 1989, it was just goes without saying they were going to hit a sequel. But the thing is, Tim Burton didn't want to do a sequel. He said, look, I've said everything I had to say about Batman, but they offered him a ton of money and they said, you can do what you want with this movie, literally everything. This is going to be a full-on Tim Burton movie without no studio interference. So he accepted. Now, that is also a good thing and a bad thing. Now, how it goes is that I like Batman Returns and maybe a tad, just a fraction more than the original. Now, when I was a kid, I was too poor to go and see this, unfortunately, and I couldn't sneak in, which I would do. But I got to see it on VHS eventually, and I really enjoyed it. I liked how it looks. I liked the vision. I liked the story. I just find the whole film a bit more polished than the original. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but I just like this just a tad. And yeah, just a tad. So the original story was going to be where Two-Face, Harvey Dent, and Catwoman and Penguin were going to, and Robin was going to be in it, by the way, and they were going to break into the Batcave, where they heard that there was loads of valuable treasure in there, and they were just coming up with a plot to do that. And it sounds more like the 60s thing. It doesn't sound very good. It sounds a bit silly, but they didn't go with it anyway, which I'm grateful for. Now, Dee Williams was originally supposed to be Max Schreck as Harvey Dent, but they felt like he was too corrupt. This guy was too corrupt, so let's save him for another movie. Along with Robin, they thought there was too many people in this, so they paid Marlon Wayans, signed him up, and they thought, no, we'll wait for the next movie, but he's been paid, so we're all good. Now, when it comes to Dee Williams, as we all know, he didn't appear in the next one, which is a shame. But I suppose I can kind of see, watching how at the end as well with Catwoman and the four, how he could have become Two-Face, I suppose. But you know what? I feel like Dee Williams, I really wanted to see him at some point. I think one of the biggest fuck-ups in the whole Batman franchise, all of them, is we never got to see Dee Williams as Two-Face. But you know what? There you go. Now, when it comes to Max Schreck, Tim Burton's first choice was David Bowie, yeah? But David Bowie, I mean, he's a legend. He was too busy going off doing something with Twin Peaks. So he got Christopher Walken, but he was scared of Christopher Walken. That's why he didn't want him. But I'm not being funny. Have you seen Labyrinth? Have you seen The Goblin King?
You remind me of the babe.
Exactly. Now, Annette Benning was originally cast for Catwoman, but she got pregnant and couldn't do it. Now, I made a mistake with my memory in the first Batman review, if you've watched it, where Sean Young was going to be Vicky Vale, but she couldn't do it because she was pregnant. No, I was wrong. I made a mistake. I'm really sorry. It was actually, she had a horse riding accident and she couldn't play Vicky Vale. But Sean Young really wanted to be Catwoman on this. She dressed up. She publicly announced she wants to be Catwoman. She went to Tim Burton's office nearly every day dressed up as Catwoman, apparently, to the point where he was hiding. Eventually, he didn't get, and it went to Michelle Pfeiffer. Now, I think Michelle Pfeiffer, it was an obvious choice. I mean, she even has a cat-like face, you know? I don't know, is it because she did such a good job? But I even nearly see her features as a cat. Now, Michelle Pfeiffer, she really took this role quite serious. I mean, she lived as Catwoman. She actually, on her first take, if you watch, where she's whipping the heads off the mannequins, she did that in her first take, and people go, "Oh, that's a whip. It's easy." It's not. Whipping is hard. It's heavy, and she whipped them all. Now, there's a scene where there's a bird flies out of her mouth. She actually, that was a real bird, because she was so dedicated to it that all the prosthetics and all the fake birds that were flying didn't look good enough to her. So she actually put a real bird in her mouth and let it fly out. She was, you know what, it's probably one of the best roles that she's ever done. It's the one I remember most from her. Now, Danny DeVito was first choice as Penguin as, well, I think, you know what, it's like, people forget about perfect casting. It was a perfect cast. I mean, Danny DeVito, he's a funny guy.
Funny how?
Yeah, all right, I know Joe Pesci, but I'm just saying he's a good character. Look, you know, I'm not being funny. He's small and he's tubby and he's a bit crazy. Perfect casting. The prosthetics they put on him are phenomenal. It just looks like some of the best we've ever seen. We don't get stuff like that much anymore. It's always mixed up with CGI, but that was really good. He looks great, and he was great on it. Now, Michael Keaton now apparently didn't really want to come back on this one, but they offered him like $10 million, so he jumped at it and he did. If you look at his costume on this one, it's different. Now, a lot of people don't seem to realize, but it is different. Now, it looks sleeker around the head, and it's more body armor rather than the muscle kind of fit that I've got, you know. But as I said, like, I personally like this costume more. It just looks a bit tidier to me, but that's just, now, I find that Michael Keaton's a bit more relaxed playing Bruce Wayne. It doesn't come across as goofy as he did in the first one. But you know what? I really liked him on this. And I did like the bit where they pointed out where Alfred let Vicky Vale in. Everyone went mad about Alfred letting in Vicky Vale in the first one. Well, they pointed this out and made light of it, which was really good. Michael Keaton smashed it in this one.
Security? Who let Vicky Vale into the Batcave? I'm sitting there working and I turn around. There she is. Oh, hi, Vic. Come on in.
Now, the score was done by Danny Elfman again. And even though it's got the same sound, same score, it is a bit different. It's a bit grander. I don't know, it just sounds more slower, grander. It just sounds bigger and more operatic. I will point out that, like the film, I actually prefer this score. I mean, a lot of people won't notice, but I did. I like it a bit more. I don't know why. People are different. This is just mine. I do particularly like the score, or the theme for Catwoman. That was so well done. Danny Elfman, he's a legend. There's a reason why he's still literally on every second movie they're doing. That's why he's great. Now, when it comes to music, Prince wasn't on this one. What? Prince wasn't on this one. And that was down to Tim Burton's choice. He just didn't want much music on it. But we did get Susie and the Banshees, which was Face to Face, which is a very dark and gothic song. I personally really like it. It's just so eerie and just gothic. It stands out. I mean, I don't think it was a big hit in 1992, but you know what? If it's on the film briefly, it's on at the end. It's a good song. Please listen. Now, because this is a full-on Tim Burton film and there was no interruption from the studios, he got to do what he wants. Now, he made it real dark and gothic. Now, believe it or not, there's not as many people. Batman doesn't kill. Apparently, he kills 3 people on this, and on the last one, he kills 17. I didn't know that. I thought it was the other way around. But he only kills 3 people on this. Batman doesn't kill. Well, he does. Now, there's a lot of parents back in the day that were screaming and shouting about, oh, it was too scary, too dark, and all that for kids and all that. So it caused a problem for the studio, and McDonald's they were doing a McDonald's toy. McDonald's pulled out and said, nope, we're not dealing with something like that. I suppose I can see why, in some ways, where the Penguin is biting off someone's nose, Batman sets someone on fire, and I think at the start, you see the Penguin parents throwing him into a canal because they think he's ugly. and he kills a cat as a baby. I mean, you know, he was born evil, I think. This film wasn't made in London or UK like Pinewood Studios. This was brought into California. Now, it does look a lot different. It does. I mean, the first one looked like Gotham was a bit more ruddy and rough, but this one is all very sleek and very dark and gothic. And by the way, it's around Christmas. So is this a Christmas film? Comment below and let me know what you think about that. But it's Christmas, and I like the way the colors of the reds and all the blues and the greens and the dark, it just looks so polished and it looks like it's come out of a comic book. And I really like how this one looks over the first one. And that's down to Tim Burton. Now, you might like or hate Tim Burton's idea and the way he did it, but for this, I think it really works. Now, unfortunately, because of how dark it was, the studios didn't want Tim Burton back, and we'll go into that on the next one, but I'm going to do Batman Forever. But the thing is that because of they want to sell toys, and Tim Burton just wanted to make a dark gothic Batman movie. He didn't care about toys, he didn't care about all merchandise. He just wanted to make a movie. And the studios, even though they didn't get involved after they saw the finished product and all the parents raving. But look, parents, I just want to say something, right? I'm a parent, and you know, it's not, I get what you're saying, but you know what, sometimes we gotta show our kids stuff. You know, it's still a PG. Sorry, it's a 12A in this country, in a PG. And I feel like sometimes we got to kind of show our kids some stuff, you know, because, you know, they're going to grow up too soft. And, you know, we got to show them a bit of danger and what's going on. It's not the worst. It's not going to give them nightmares. Well, I don't think. And it's just my opinion. I think like some people, they get upset about stuff like that. And I'm not putting anyone down. I'm just saying sometimes just show them. I'm sure they'll be fine. And you know what? I turned out all right. Most of this film is a positive for me, and I have a few favorite scenes. And my favorite moments or scenes where I love the bit where the Batmobile changes from the Batmobile. It shrinks down to get through the wall. Now I do like that moment. What leads up to that moment is a bit silly, and I'll get to that in a sec. But it goes through the wall. I love that and the way the music comes on at that time.
All right, now I'm a little worried.
I also think the bit where he's standing on the building and he's going to jump off and he just pulls out the wings. I mean, where did they come from? It's Batman. We don't know. He knows. But I thought that bit was really cool. I do like the bit where she's with Selena Kyle's with Bruce Wayne, and they realize who each other are with the kiss under the mistletoes, and I thought that was a really cool scene. And speaking of which, I'm not knocking the relationship between Christian Bale version of Batman and Selena Kyle in Batman Dark Knight Returns. I thought it was good, but I still feel, and including the new one, I still feel the relationship between Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne was really good on this. It just kind of seemed fleshed out. I just kind of liked it. And it was nearly even tragic at the end. You know, I felt like, you know, we can't be together, and, you know, do we have to fight now? And it just, I felt it was, so far, it's the best dynamic or best chemistry for me. But I still liked Dark Knight Returns, and I really liked the new one. I thought Selena Kyle, and they were really good. But for me, still, this is the best version of that. But just my opinion. All right. So when it comes to negatives, I don't really have many, because I don't know, is it nostalgia or it's just a really good movie? But I've only a couple of nitpicks, and they're very minor, and it doesn't ruin the movie for myself. But so the Penguin is taking control of the Batmobile, and he has a device on the car, or the Batmobile, where Batman has to get it. Batman, and I know he's tough, he punches through the Batmobile to break the device. Now, I know Batman's supposed to be tough and all that, but the Batmobile is like a tank. It's stronger than a tank. Shouldn't have been able to do that. Just a minor thing. It just always bugged me. And for famously, the part where he takes off his mask. One moment you can see the black makeup behind him, and the next minute it's not. I feel that they could have really done something they didn't. That was a little bit lazy on him. It's not very noticeable. I did notice my first go, but not many people do. It's just he pulls off the mask, and one minute he's got the makeup on, and the second minute he doesn't. And in the new Batman, you see him with, when he takes the mask off, you see that he did have some black makeup around his eyes, so you know he's covering that. And you know what, maybe back in the 90s it wasn't acceptable, but for me, I just wish they hadn't done that. But you know what, it doesn't take me out of the movie. Now, I love this movie. I really like it. I love the first one as well. I just like this a tad more. I don't know why. It's just more gothic, maybe more sentimental. I don't know, it can't be, but just like it a tad more. This didn't make as much money as Batman, the first Batman. Now, the first Batman made something like $420 million, where this one made something like $266 million. Now, that's still a lot. I know it's not the $1 billion thing that we get today with superheroes, but back in the 90s and late 80s, that was a lot. And 266 million is still a successful movie. But the reason why it didn't do so well is because of what's happening with the parents were all upset and wasn't child friendly. That was a bit of an impact on it, and one of the reasons why he's not doing Batman Forever. But again, I like this movie. I think it still holds up today. It's a great comic book movie. It's a great Batman movie. It's got a great cast. You've got Michael Keaton playing Batman. He's brilliant, yeah? And everyone loved him after this, so no one gave him shit about anything. Penguin, perfect. Max Schreck, liked him. Chris Walken always. And Michelle Pfeiffer, she set the standard. Let's face it, come on. So, what do you think of this movie? Did you like it? Do you hate it? Do you hate Michael Keaton? Do you hate Tim Burton's version? Or just love it like I do? Please let me know in the comments below, and like and subscribe as normal. But for now, and until next time.
Above Gotham looms its greatest hero,